This is Portsmouth. I was born in this city and I grew up here. I've since moved away from Portsmouth, however recently I returned and, inspired by Thunderfoot's Beauty in the Universe channel, decided to make a few videos on interesting sites around the area where I grew up. I also learned of a disturbing fact about my home city that will interest many of you. Portsmouth is home to what is, so far as I can tell, the UK's only creation museum. During my visit I went there. I recorded as much of the museum and its barefaced lies as I could, and will be uploading this in a 3-part video soon. These videos are to serve as an eye-opener to all those of you who thought the UK was immune to this level of ignorance. I will also upload a video debunking choice exhibits from this museum, as an instalment of the Debunking Creationism series. For now, however, I have brought you all to my favourite food vendor of all time. This is Mick's Burgers, home of the monster beef burger. The food served here is very good. For those of you who may be easily offended by meat eating, or those of you who may salivate uncontrollably over your keyboard, you may want to look away now. This is a large bacon, egg, mushroom and cheeseburger with onions, ketchup and mustard, also known as the blowout. It is a very tasty way of developing heart disease. This is by no means the largest burger that Mick's produces, however. That title may go to the aptly named Jawbreaker, consisting of 3 burgers, 3 eggs and 3 cheese slices. For those of you who are not burger fans, there is also the draw of some very nice chunky chips, fries. I personally recommend the chips and cheese. Although the food here is great, there is another draw to this location: the view. Mick's is at a lookout point on Portsdown Hill that overlooks Portsmouth. From here it is possible to see not only Portsmouth, but the Isle of Wight, Gosport, Hayling Island, Calshot and Portchester Castle. Portchester Castle was originally a Roman fort that was built to defend the coast of England from raiders. It is the best surviving example of this type of fort. It was subsequently used by the Normans, as well as the kings and queens of England, and was still in use as a prisoner of war camp during the Napoleonic Wars. Portchester was the original port and military base in this area, until the harbour around it silted up. After this point, Portsmouth took over and became the home of the Royal Navy. The military dockyards in Portsmouth were the largest industrial facility in Europe for over 200 years. The dockyard has now been scaled back and a museum is open to the public. Portsmouth was also the birthplace of Isambard Kingdom Brunel, a Victorian engineer and innovator who produced some of the country's greatest civil works. Charles Dickens, Christopher Hitchens, and home to Arthur Conan Doyle, Rudyard Kipling, H.G. Wells, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Barry Scott. Anyway, this mini-series will include visits to the following locations in the local area: the aforementioned Creation Museum, known as the Genesis Expo, a Napoleonic Fort and Royal Armouries Museum at Fort Nelson, and a visit to Old Winchester Hill, where there are archaeological sites from the Neolithic, Bronze and Iron Age, as well as being a nature reserve. As time passes, I may from time to time add other sites to this series, as and when I return to the area and get chance. For now, however, I hope you all enjoy this mini-series.